Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Frieren. Last time around we had Frieren the Slayer, where basically the gang, and I say gang, it's really two people, but Frieren and Stark were given the task of defeating guy and girl. I don't remember what their names are, but they were given the task to defeat those two demons, and while originally they were all like, yes, you don't matter. I'm not even going to look at you. I'll give you the time of day. And then they just got curb stomped, and now they're all like, I guess I will give you the time of day, as if they won't still be curb stomped. So, yeah. But anyway, but Frieren gave them that job after she killed the other demon and broke out of jail, and she is going to go and destroy Ara the Guillotine and her entire forces. And main demon guy was like, oh yes, now I remember, Frieren the Slayer, the person who's killed the most demons in the history of time, really. So yeah, so we're in for a fight, actually, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, Fern will be battling Demon Man, Stark will be battling Demon Girl, and Frieren will be battling Ara the Guillotine. It's a good thing they say the name Ara the Guillotine, or I guess it's technically spelled Aura, but they kind of say it Ara. It's not just they say Ara the Guillotine like 8,000 times, so I remember it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Frieren. Here we go. I mean, you guys know me. I hate villains that don't care. What was it, Lenya? I hate villains like her that are just, you're nothing. You're garbage. I don't even need to bother with you. And it's like, no. That literally leads to your death. Like, why aren't you smart? Literally, like, now that I thought about it, at the beginning of this episode, it's like, oh, I despise geniuses. It's like, that's just a fancy way of saying you're an idiot. Like, seriously, like, at least I'll give credit to Aura. Like, and Aura clearly, like, she is formidable. You know, she would probably be too formidable for Fern and Stark, you know? And she clearly was formidable 80 years ago when the gang fought her, you know? So I'm at least going to give her credit. These two suck, you know? Like, I mean, I guess it's just they think they're on top of the world, you know? They think they're on top of the world, and they can't fathom how they will be brought back down, you know? I don't know, it's just like, and I mean, that's the thing too, you know, like, with Lenya, with her battling Stark, it's like, yeah, she got some good hits in, until he really started taking it seriously, you know? Once he got in the zone, and realized, wait a minute, you're not stronger than Aizen, you know? You're not stronger than Aizen was. And even just, like, that hit to his side, it's like, that was maybe skin deep. It's just, no, you suck. Literally, this arc has been the screw-up demons. Like, it is kind of weird, you know? Even still, it's kind of like with, Qual, where, like, you know, just, like, oh, it's this big, grand thing, and then they defeat him, you know? They just beat him, and that's that, you know? I mean, if anything, these demons have stagnated, you know? Like, none of them have evolved. Even Aura, you know, being one of the, so it's the 7 Sages of Destruction. Being one of the 7 Sages of Destruction, she hasn't evolved. It's just the one technique, you know? And it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing that, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, I mean, I guess it's just reliance, you know? The fact that these demons, despite having longer lives than humans, these demons solely focus on one thing, you know? Like, what I gotta know his name real quick. Alright, Lugner. That was it. Alright. So, I mean, Lugner has been using this, like, blood manipulation, you know? It's something he's worked on his entire life, but I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about, like, because he's only mastered this one thing, it's actually made him more vulnerable, you know? I don't know. I mean, it's just, you know, I guess it's the thing, it's like with the other guy, with the wire demon, where, you know, he said, like, oh, you know, my wires are so strong and powerful, and Frieren was like, yes, you're right. There's nothing I could do to cut these wires. And then she just killed him, you know? She blew off both of his hands so he couldn't use the wires anymore, and then she killed him. He's the weak link. Like, I guess that's it, is that these demons, while they have mastered their magic, they haven't actually put the time into themselves, you know? Like, Stark, he can keep getting up, because, especially Stark, because that's all he has is his own body, you know? He doesn't have magic like the rest of them. He just has his own strength, you know? His own physical strength to rely on. And because of that, he can get up, and he realizes, wait a minute, yes, she knows all of Eisen's moves and can perform all these incredible moves, but she has no strength to put behind it, you know? She has no strength to put behind it. Like, I bet even that, you know, wound on his shoulder, well, the wound, I don't want to downplay that really, but even that probably was not as huge as it kind of seemed, you know? Like, sure, an X getting lodged in an X chopping your shoulder, that's gonna be bad, but even still, like, I don't think that was like a really deep wound, you know? In the same way as on his side, that wasn't deep at all, you know? Because she doesn't have that kind of strength. She has the skill, but not the strength. In the same way that, Lugner, for some reason I can't remember this dude's name. Lugner, like, he has his magic, and he says, you know, my mana is so much better than hers. My skill is so much better than hers. And yes, his magic is incredible. But his magic is incredible. He's not incredible. She's fast, you know? And that makes sense that that's something that Frieren trained her for, is to actually work on her own body, you know? She is fast. So much faster than him that it's just, there's nothing he can do about it, you know? Like, she thinks so much faster than, moves so much faster than him that it's nothing. It's the same, it would be like, these demons are basically like, it would be like if you had this car, and it's an amazing, you know, incredible V8 engine, you know, whatever, you know, some crazy thing that Jeremy Clarkson would talk about, you know? Just like this top of the line car, the fastest car you can ever see. But if you, like, suck at driving, that car doesn't mean anything, you know? Like, all of them are race car drivers, you know? Whereas these demons are Richard Hammond crashing into a tree, you know? That's the thing. There's your Top Gear reference for today. I didn't think I was going to make it, but here we are. But that's literally it, is that their magic is like a car. It's really good, but they're not good drivers, you know? Like with Lenia, she is incredible. You know, she has this skill. She can mimic the fighting moves of so many different warriors. But she's a scrawny little puke, alright? She's a scrawny nothing. And Stark is kind of jacked, you know? He's a big dude. You know, I mean, he's not... I mean, he doesn't look like Jotaro. But, I mean, he's fit. He's fit because he's been trained for this, you know? And it's the same thing where, like, you know, yes, Lugner, that's it. I remembered this time. Lugner has this incredibly powerful magic, but the guy doesn't go to the gym, you know? Guy doesn't go to the gym. Look at Fern. She's fit, you know? She is fit. And Frieren's kind of the same way, I would say. It's just that her mana reserves and everything, like, her power is so exponentially higher than most people that it doesn't even matter. It's like, it's because of her so advanced age, probably more so than any of these demons, because she's so much older, that makes up for her, you know, potentially not being the most fit. But we don't even know. She could be kind of fit. I mean, she's got to walk everywhere, you know? She keeps going on these 10-year journeys, so I imagine she's fit to some degree, but she's not as fit as Fern. I mean, she's not as big as Fern, you know? Fern is taller, a bit, you know, wider. She's got meat on her bones, and she's fit. That's really hot. I'm just going to say that, okay? Like, look, Fern's already adorable. You add fit onto that. Oh boy. I don't know if I can handle that. The idea that she's, you know, she's super adorable. She looks like she'd be great for cuddling, but she's also fit. Oh my god. Like, And it's great because she got rid of the jacket, so we could see more of the fit physique, you know? Despite the fact that, I mean, she's pretty much covered from head to toe. Well, from neck to toe, at least. Like, I mean, there is nothing... Like, there's, like, pretty much everything is left to the imagination when it comes to Fern. And I like that. You know, that's fine. But there is a part of me that's like, ooh, now I get to imagine fit Fern. Like, that's great. She's so fucking fast, too, you know? She's got that cold stare. Oh, my God. I'm losing it. I gotta talk about something else. Yeah, so other than that, you know, they talked about Frieren in her last battle with Aura. She did all these, like, super quick, flashy moves. And I wrote down that she said that Himmel got onto her after that. They never went back to that, and I'm curious. I'm curious if they'll talk about that again. That Himmel got onto her. If I were to guess, I don't know. Maybe that's just a lesson in efficiency, you know? Like, it's better to be... which, honestly, I guess that kind of ties into, you know... Kind of ties into Fern, that it's like, no, Fern is not more powerful, per se, but she's more efficient, you know? And that efficiency makes her so much faster than Lugner. So... I guess you could say that it was probably like a lesson in efficiency. You know, you shouldn't be using... And who knows, you know, the kind of damage that was caused. Like, we saw a bit of the battlefield. It's just scorched earth, burned trees all across that battlefield. So maybe it was a thing of, like, you know, you got to minimize damage. I don't know. They didn't go into specifics. So I'm curious as to what specifically Himmel got onto her about, you know. But clearly it left an impact. And then that moment where it's like, well, why do you need to think about that? Himmel's rotting in the ground. And then Frieren's just like, all right, you have given me permission to cut a bitch. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So that's the thing, you know? That's the thing. It's, like, that's an interesting episode. It's an interesting thing, because at first I was just like, oh, these guys suck. But then it's like, I'm glad through this discussion, I basically figured it out. It's just like, yeah, their magic is incredible, but they are not. And the fact that is reinforced by by the last episode with the kid, where it's just like, oh yeah, his wires are incredible. Frieren could do nothing to break those wires, so she broke him instead. It's just like, yeah, that's literally it. Is that their magic is great, they are not, Whereas with Fern and Stark, their powers are good. They're not as good as those demons, but their bodies are that good. They're so much better. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, yeah, a really, really fast car, the fastest car ever created, that's great. But unless you get a competent driver in there, what's it going to do? It's going to sit and do nothing. That's the thing. Wow, what an interesting thing. I love discussions like this where I work out what the message is. Like I start where I'm like, yeah, I think like it's kind of this, and then just as I keep talking, I work it out. Like those are always like kind of my fun ones, It makes me feel like I don't know. It makes me feel like this discussion was worth watching, There are some times I think, was that discussion just regurgitating everything that happened on screen? And I try not to think about that too much, but this was a good one of like working everything out. It was a discussion, So those are always good. I don't know. You guys watch the discussion? I don't know. If it sound off in the comments, do you watch the discussions? And if you don't, that's fine. Like I hardly watch discussions to other people's reactions, because I understand that it can take a lot of time, but I still like doing the discussions, So it's not just me, doing, it's not just me sitting here like Sniper Wolf or some other XQC or some garbage reactor just being like, whoa, and then just nothing happens, So that's right, I got hostile. What of it? With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Frieren reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later. I'm losing it today.